Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Yana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Sasankachakram Sakirithakundalam Sapitavasram Sarsiruhetanam Savaravakshastarakaustupa Sriyam Namami Vishnu Shirsa Chaturdhujam Jai Krishna Hare Shri Krishna Hare Dukhiyo ko dukha dur kare Jai 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Dukhiyo Padmanabham Suror Vishwadaram Gaganasadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam Yogi Bhirdhyanagamyam Bande Vishnum Bhavayamaram Sarvalokaikanatham Sarvalokaikanatham Om Nabini Dano Dev Shankha Chakra Gadadakshaya Pundakasha Pitri Moksha Pradodbhava. Devotees, thanks for making your presence here once again this evening. Like I says, without Shroda, there can be no Katha. So it is important that you've come, and it is important that you're inquisitive. This subject of Shraddha and death is not something we entertain on a constant basis. This subject of Shraddha we do not entertain in a constant basis. That's why Sanatan Dharma has left aside a specific time for us to sit down and discuss this. Whenever there is a death in our family, who is concentrating on what the Pandit is saying? Your mind, half of your mind is on what has to be done. What has to be done with the funeral, that is one thought. What has to be done during the week is another thought. You know, that's a whole different story. In this country, you know, things are a little bit different. If you go to Guyana, I hear they have a whole menu set out. And they have takeaway dish arranged for everybody to take after the wake is over. I remember in our days when we used to go to wake, 2 biscuits, a little bit tea. If you get milk, you're lucky. Devotees, we should not make wakes the feast. That is a state of impurity for the family who have experienced death. And maybe tomorrow I will read that verse for you, and so that you have it clear in your mind that when we go to wakes, first of all, we're not supposed to be eating there because it's impure. Those families are going through a state of impurity. When we were little kids and when we were back home, I can remember very carefully. When somebody has deaths in their family, that fireside, not like in the house no more. Nobody will cook in the house. And the pots turned down because they're good neighbors. And the neighbors will prepare something and they will bring for the family. This is the time when the family got to be focused on their duties and responsibility towards that person who has passed. Why you want to give them extra headache? You are supposed to come here to alleviate their headache, to help them out of their pains. Now you come there expecting, a whole, 52 kind of dishes. Then I've gone since I was a child. I would go with my sisters, my cousins, and Uncle Dale. He now lives in the Bronx, and Uncle Dale would take us, and then we will go. And since I was a little child, we will go to everybody's wake. As soon as we hear somebody dies, we are arranged. We go to the wakes. They don't even have to call you. They don't even have to beg you. They don't have to ask you. Today they got to pay you. And I hear they don't collect money in Guyana currency no more. You have to pay in US currency. Those people who come with their drums and their music and to sing at the time when somebody have deaths in their family, they are nothing but thieves. They have come there to hurt the family. They haven't come there to help them. And we must desist from inviting people who charge you money for such occasion. You want to pay them to come sing at your wedding? That's fine. But when people have deaths in their family, at that time, we should not charge them. We should not go there and ask them for anything. We should go there and do it free, out of our own hearts. That is the time when we are supposed to be supporting the family. When people get wedding, people come with a long line, and they're bringing all kind of fancy gifts. And now I hear there are some, different ways to send you gifts. You can send them, through Macy's and through, all these fancy ways. Your gift is going to the family. We prepare for wedding. We prepare for wedding. We never prepare for death. We don't know when there is going to be a death in our family. And when a death has come to our family, sometimes it reaches us in the most desperate time. Because there's some family who went through great degree of illness, and money has been spent to take care of them until they have gradually gone to an extent where we have eventually lost them. Do you want to know the economic condition of that family? That family is now almost left without any wealth. That time you're going to go charge them. That time you're going to go take money from them. Then you're a thief. You should not. That is the time we should go and give our heart to them. And we should join with them. We should embrace them. And we should be loving and caring for them. Devotees, that time I will encourage people. Whatever you afford, go to that family, not because they don't afford. Go to that family and give them something at that time. Not because they don't afford, but because that is our duty and that is our responsibility. That is the first way of showing that we care. Now when they get wedding, when they have debts, is when we should come and we should give them a few dollars, or bring something to the home and to the family, not take from them. And let that family have a blissful and a peaceful mind during the whole period of mourning until when the moment has come for them to sit down very blissfully and peacefully and perform their Shraddha karma. That is what I want to tell you first. Secondly, I've noticed a new tradition. And a new tradition is, as soon as the funeral is done, they tell everybody, please invite everybody to the home for lunch. That's not a Hindu tradition. And you know what? I don't like to make that announcement, because you're putting me in a bad position to create a tradition that is not ours. You're not supposed to eat at those people's place. Why we gonna make that announcement? So in the first place, that too is inappropriate. We're not supposed to do that. Worst of all, we're not supposed to take food from that house during the whole period of their mourning. We should not take food from that home. That food that you're going to take from that home, you know, you are telling the prate something. You're telling that prate that this which belongs to you I am taking. He's not going to be happy. This is our dharma. Pandit Chris asked me why the pindas are offered on the different dates, and that is for us to discuss today. When we go, and I still do, but it's not required. We offer 6 pinda. We put 6 pinda in a line. We offer 6 pinda, and then we do puja on them, all kind of puja. We bathe them, we offer cloth, we offer all of this. It's not required. The scriptures tell us to offer the pinda. They did not tell us to do puja on those 6 pindas. When the person dies, immediately, as soon as a person dies, we're supposed to bathe the person, clean the person nicely, and right at that minute, we're supposed to put one pinda in the person's hand. First pinda done. Meaning I'm going to do puja. When the day that we're taking the body away, we must take one pinda and put it outside near to the door. That is when the second pinda is offered. No puja is required. Chaurahe, when we're taking the person to the crematorium, we should stop one place, and there we used to take one pinda and place it near to the corner of the trench. If you ask any American Pandit, they don't understand this, because they did not grow up in the real tradition. We did. You have to talk to the older Pandits, then you will understand that. Then when you go to the crematorium, again, you put one pinda in the person's hand. No puja is required on it. No Panditi tell you to do puja on it. And the next pinda is placed on the chitta, asking Agni Devata to accept this body. 5 pinda is offered that day, not 6. 5. The next day when we go to pick up the ashes, then we will place one pinda there where we're going to pick up the ashes before picking up the ashes. That is where the sixth pinda is offered. According to Garud Puran, and let me read that for you so that you get an understanding. And first, let me tell you when we should start counting from. When we should start counting from. There are some people who confuse everybody by telling them we have to count from the day the person died. Well, that's foolish. We do not count from the day the person dies. We count from the day that the Shraddha starts. Until the Shraddha hasn't started, we can't be counting. Shavahaste cha yatradam Mitrasthane dvijasane Tadeva prathamam sradham Tata syade kada Hani. That is the first Shraddha which is performed by the hand of the dead at the spot of the death, or at the seat of the Brahmana. 11 days should be counted from this date. From the date that the Shraddha starts, from that date, we count the Shraddha. And then we count 10 days, 11 days, 12 days from that date. So some people have deaths in their family. They kept the person for 10 days. When are we going to do the 10-day Shraddha? The day we're doing the funeral? So that's foolish. We do not do it from that day. We can't do the 10-day and the 12-day Shraddha and the funeral all on the same day. So we have to count from that day. And then Garud Puran tells us 10 days form the body. So we offer pindas to form the body. For 10 days, we must offer pinda. When I grew up as a Pandit, when I first started, the Pandits preceding us started a tradition by doing all 10 pinda on the 10th day. It is not the most appropriate thing to do. We should be making one pinda offering every day until the 10th day. The first pinda forms the head. The second pinda forms the eye, the ears, the nose, the mouth, and those areas. The third pinda forms the shoulders, the chest area. The next pinda forms the navel, the belly areas. The other pinda form the private areas. The other pinda forms the lower regions of the body, the feet and all. Then one pinda forms all the skeletal, the bones and all. One fills the streams and builds all the internal organs. Then one pinda gives vitality to all these organs. Just like a child takes 10 months to form in the womb of the mother, so too gradually the prate gets its body over a 10-day period. And on the 10th day, we must offer a pinda that is made with urad dal and barley. That day we do not offer rice pinda, but we offer a body of a pinda of urad dal, because that is the pinda that gives vitality, strength, and energy to the prate. So now the prate is formed. A body is formed for the prate. According to Garud Puran, that is the size of the body. It is the size of our thumb. The prate has the size of a thumb. On the day of the cremation, milk and water should be offered in the evening. On the day after that, milk and water should be offered in the evening. And on the third day, milk and water should be offered in the evening, after the funeral. If the funeral done yesterday, and we done the 10-day shroud and the 12-day shroud and the 1-year shroud, the day after, it is only on the third day that the soul, after the funeral, that the soul realized that, I'm truly dead. Before the guy realized he's dead, he shroud done. If you read Romeo and Juliet, there was one statement that was made by Shakespeare when Malvolio, I think, was killed. And Shakespeare says that the ashes of the body was not even cold yet when Juliet died. Even in Western tradition, they believe that we must wait before we rush into doing things. So last night, I'm not going to spend more time on that topic, but last night I spent enough time on that. This shroud is done for a healing purpose. And if we are not healed properly, then it is going to come back to haunt us in later times in our life. Not only haunt us, but it's going to haunt future generations of ours. Do not underestimate the power of the prate. And the prate is not the only person that will be angry with you. Your whole ancestors are going to be angry with you for not. When we go to do the funeral, before we invite the prate to come for us to perform the funeral, we invite the pitras. Ihalokang paritadjagatosi parmagatim manasavayu rupena chateshu tvamni mantre. We invite the soul, but first we invite the pitra. Devatavya Pitri Paksh Mahayogi Behivacha Namaswahaya Swadhaya Nityameva Namo Namaha. You know what we're telling the pitras when we invite them? We tell them, come and see that we are following all the traditions of this family, and we are going to ensure that whatever is done according to your parampara. I am going to ensure that what was practiced by my parents and my grandparents and my great-grandparents, we're going to follow the traditions And we're going to make sure that this is done according to the Shastras. Devotees, do not let anybody force you to do all your Shraddha one day. That is a curse upon your family. Secondly, people have confusion about when the Varshik Shraddha should be done. The word Varsh means year. It means 1 year. And on the Hindu calendar, 1 year has 360 days. It is not 11 months, it's 360 days. Because we have a moon calendar, we operate by the moon, not the solar calendar. If you want to know how to calculate that, if you get your paycheck every fortnight, right? That's easy to calculate, I know. Whenever we talk about money, things easy to calculate. Whenever you get your paycheck, every fortnight, you will realize that 1 month in the year, you're going to get 3 paychecks. You know that? Yeah, so we have accountants, right? They know that 1 month in the year, you're going to get 3 paychecks. You know why you're getting 3 paychecks? Because how the fortnight operates. According to the moon, you're getting paid, not according to the sun. So we follow the moon calendar. And based on that, then Shraddha should be done. On the 18th day, 1 pinda should be offered. 1 month, which is approximately 30 days, the second pinda is offered. 6 weeks, the third pinda is offered. 2 months, 4. 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 5.5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11.5, 12, 16 pinda is offered until 1 year. It is based on the tithi on which the person's funeral is performed. If the person's funeral is performed on the full moon day of 1 month, the next full moon day is 1 month. Then the next full moon day is 1 month. And the next full moon day is 1 month. So if you count the months at the end of each month, you would realize that it's only 360 days. It is not one English calendar year, which is 365 days. Easy. Our Patra tells us, whatever tithi, whatever date the person died this year, the same month, the same date, go to the next year and do the Shraddha. I don't know how Pandits calculate. And I don't know what people are learning. But this is what the Garud Puran say. Anybody who wants to see it, I'll show them in black and white. If they understand English, I'll show them in English. And if they don't understand English, I'll show them in Hindi. So, whichever way you want, I will show it to you. And this is what our scripture says. We must wait a full year and perform the Shraddha. So, I'm not going to reiterate, I'm not going to go over that any further. I think I have belabored the point enough. We'll turn to our Katha from last night. And last night, Katha, we spoke on a very important topic. And what topic did we talk about last night? We talked about when somebody dies, we understand that that person becomes our ancestor. That person becomes our Pitri. That person goes to a very special place that is called Pitri Lok. And that person stays there. But one copy of that person will come back in another form. Let me make that easy for you. You're sitting here right now, and your mind can go somewhere else within a flash and come back. Our intellect, our mind, and all of these, they get transmitted into another body. But that individual who is our ancestor, and I use the telephone for an example. My telephone died. I have to do the funeral. You know, many times we got that problem with telephone. Thank God we don't have to call the Pandit to do that funeral. Well, the telephone died. We go to the outlet and we tell the person, you know, my telephone died. And I need to retrieve all the information. And he says, okay. And whatever they do, they retrieve all your information from a dead telephone and they put it into a brand new telephone and you're gone again. Just like a computer chip, you take your what you call it, your flash drive, you stick it into the computer, upload all information, you take the same flash drive, put it in another computer, upload all the information. Same thing that is in here, same thing is over here. So what happens is that there's a transmigration that happens. And according to Garud Puran, it can happen the same day the person dies, or it can happen a little bit after. So it does not have to wait for 1 year. It does not have to wait for any time after that. It happens instantly according to Garud Puran, or sometimes after. What happens is the person is already designated to be born again in another form, in another creature. There are 4 forms of births according to Hinduism. Andaj, Swedaj, Pindaj, you know. Some are born from eggs. Some are born from within the womb. Some are born from sweat. And there's some, you know, you can divide them, bring 2, and they will become 2 whole again. So instead of having 1 whole, now you have 2 whole. So you divide the cells and you continue to multiply. This is Sanatan Dharma, it's very scientific. Nothing about Hinduism is backwards. Everything about Hinduism is scientific. You can go find it in a science book. And Hinduism has studied very carefully. And so, the person goes into another life form. And the person starts another journey. But that person who for you has already passed, that person, after 1 year Shraddha is performed, that person goes into Pitri Yoni. He goes into the Pitri Lok. If the Shraddha is not performed, devotees, if a Shraddha is not performed, then that person will remain a prey. That means that soul will be wandering. That is why Shraddha is necessary. This is what the scriptures are telling us. We need to perform appropriate Shraddha for everybody. Don't ask me about other races and other religions. They have their own concept, they have their own ways of doing whatever they do. And I don't have any problem with what anybody else do. It is up to them. This is what our scriptures dictates, and this is what our scripture is asking for. You should follow your dharma. You should follow your scriptures. And don't think for any reason at all. One time I went to do one wedding upstate. And when I went there, there's a white guy that came to me and he says, you know, after having a conversation with me, he started telling me that, you know something, we're having repeated deaths in our family and we don't know why. You know, this is not an Indian person. This was just an invitee to the wedding. And he already knows about 8 to 10 people in his family who died within a very short period of time. I looked at him, and what advice can I give him? I said, please tell me the dates when, you know, whichever one you can find, give me the dates when they died, when you did the burial or whatever you did. When I look at them, obviously, yes, some of them died in Punjab. So you think these people know what is going on? They don't know what is going on. They do whatever they do. Sometimes the consequences are rippling, and it just becomes another, you know, and nobody follows. Nobody understands what is going on in their family. And as a result, things are happening. It happens. As Hindus, we know what to look for, and we know how to avoid it. Jai Shri Krishna. People have weddings. You know, if you study statistically in this country, over 50% of all weddings in the United States has gone to the rocks. They think Ghana is important. We don't know. You know, when things happen, it happens. In this country, you're allowed to divorce, get married, allowed to divorce and get married, and allowed to divorce and get married. In some other countries, you are looked at, you know, a little strange when things like that happen. In this country, it is normal. Not only that is normal, but many other things that is abnormal is normal too. So, what happens? We need to understand that our scriptures have looked at things from a different standpoint. And our saints and sages, they are scientists of their own. I'm going to read very quickly these few stanzas, and So one day, Garud Puran tells us that when we perform Shraddha, there are a few things that we must do. And here, Yadi Shraddha karte, Shraddha mein ek hi Brahman nimantrit karta hai. That when you're performing your Shraddha, you should invite one Brahman. And that Brahman should do ucharan, he should recite your mantras, he should perform your Shraddha. To us Brahman udar bhag mein pita. And that Brahman not only represent the person who is performing your Shraddha. Let me explain to you all who a Brahman is and what his duties and responsibilities are. When we come to perform the puja here, the person who sits here to perform the puja, that Brahman, he recites one mantra in the beginning of your puja. Hari Om Tatsat Tatsat Namaha Paramatmane Shri Puraan Purushottamay Vishnu Ragya Pavartamana Sadhya Sri Brahmano Dvitya Parade Vishnu Pade Shri Shweta Barha Kalpe Vaivastman Vantare अष्टविंशतितमे कलियुगे कलिप्रथम चरणे जम्बूद्वीपे भारत खंडे आर्यवर्तांतर्गत देशे, and we go on and on and on. Do you know what the Brahman is saying? The Brahman is saying that he becomes him. He becomes your Vigraha. Your Brahman becomes Bhagwan. Whatever puja you do to Bhagwan, your Thakur, all the mantras are echoed from the lips of the Brahman. The bhakti is filled in your heart. You perform the puja on Bhagwan, and all the puja that is performed on Bhagwan, there is a triangle that is created from the Brahman to the Jajman to Bhagwan to the Brahman. And these three people at that time become one. The Jajman become Bhagwan Bhakt, and the Brahman becomes Bhagwan. That's why traditionally, whatever gifts which are having to Bhagwan, that we give to the Brahman. Whatever bhog we offer to Bhagwan, we also give it to the Brahman. That is the relationship between God and the devotee and Bhagwan and the Brahman. During Shraddha, when Shraddha is being performed, between the Brahman and the Jajman and the Pret, the person who dies, the Brahman takes the form of the Pret. The Brahman becomes the Pret. You, when you're performing your puja, all your concentration for that ancestor, for that person who dies, comes from the Shakti of the Brahman to you and back. There is a circle that is going on. We need to understand this concept. This is Sanatan Dharma. So let me explain that. Yadi Shraddha Karta, the person who is performing the Shraddha, श्राद्ध में एक ही ब्राह्मण निमंत्रित करता है. You must invite one Brahman and the Brahman should come. तो उस ब्राह्मण के उदर भाग, and in that Brahman's belly, in that Brahman's own form, उदर भाग में पिता, वाम पार्श्वे में पितामह. In that Brahman, if your father passed, that Brahman become the personification of your father. Traditionally, we invite 5 Brahman or 3 Brahman. Udar bhag mein pita, Vam parshme, on the left side of that Brahman, there's somebody who's going to come and sit there. Pitamaha, the grandfather, is going to sit next to the Brahman on the left side. Our Dakshin Parshme, Pita Maha, and on the right side, the great grandfather will sit. Note that where that Brahman is sitting, not one person, but 3 individuals are sitting there. और प्रपितामह इस पृष्ठ भाग में पिंड भक्षक पितर रहता है. And through that Brahmana, all the pindas are accepted by the ancestors. Shraddha Kal Yamraj Preta Tatha Pitro का यमलोक से मृत्युलोक के लिए मुक्त करता है. Through that Brahman, your ancestor is going to leave Mrityulok and it is going to go to Swargalok. Through that Brahman, your ancestor is going to be liberated. He Kashyap Narak भोगने वाले भूख प्यास पीड़ित पितृ जन अपने पूर्व जन्म के लिए गए पाप पश्चाताप करते हुए अपने पुत्र पौत्र मधु मिश्रित पायस की अभिलाषा करते. And through that medium, that paya, the children, the grandchildren, and the rest of the family is going to be blessed. So that Brahman becomes the medium between you and Bhagwan, and that Brahman becomes the medium between Bhagwan and you. This is Garud Puran. This is what we need to understand. Garudji is speaking. Hey Swami, he's talking to Bhagwan Vishnu. उस लोक से आकर उस पृथ्वी पर श्राद्ध में भोजन करता हुआ पितरों को किसी देखा भी है. Can you please explain this in a little bit more detail so I can understand? Hey Garud, Sri Bhagwan Vishnu talking. Hey Garud, Guru Atmana, सुनो. देवी सीता उदाहरण है. जिस प्रकार सीता ने पुष्कर तीर्थ अपने ससुर आदि 3 पितरों श्राद्ध में निमिश्रित ब्राह्मण के शरीर में प्रविष्ट हुआ देखा था, उसमें में कहा रहा है. So one day Bhagwan Ram, while he was in exile and he was going, they came to a very famous tirth, and that tirth was called Pushkar. And when they came to Pushkar, they realized when we go to every tirth, whatever that tirth is known for, then we must do. Pushkar is known for liberation of our ancestors and to perform Shraddha. Namo Namaste Govinda Purana Purushottam Idam Shraddha Rishikesh Rakshatam Sarvato Dishaha. Whenever we are performing Shraddha, we recite that mantra because we invite Rishikesh to come here to where the Shraddha is being performed. We are fortunate when we can go to Rishikesh and perform Shraddha. And so we get an opportunity to go to these places of pilgrimage. So Bhagwan Ram and Sita Devi, they went to Rishikesh, but something very surprising happened. What happened? आदि 3 पितरों का श्राद्ध के निमंत्रित ब्राह्मण शरीर में प्रविष्ट हुआ देखा था, उसको मैं कहता हूँ. And Bhagwan Vishnu said that one time when Bhagwan Ram and Sita Devi, they went to Pushkar Tirth, and they invite the Brahmins to come and to sit down there, and they decide that they were going to feed these Brahmana after Shraddha Karma is performed. And Sita Devi, she saw her in-laws, her father-in-law, her father-in-law's father, and father-in-law's grandfather, the 3 of them, she saw them sitting there in the bodies of the Brahman. हे गरुड़, पितामह आज्ञा प्राप्त करके जब श्री राम वन चले गए तो उसके बाद सीता साथ श्री रामचंद्र पुष्कर तीर्थ यात्रा की। तीर्थ के पहुंचकर उन्होंने श्राद्ध करता प्रारंभ किया। जानकी जी एक पके हुए फलों के सिद्ध करके राम के सामने उपस्थित किया। So Sita Devi, she prepared all the food nicely for this very beautiful feast in which the Shraddha is performed, and now the Brahmins are sitting there and they are ready to eat. She prepared all this food nicely and then she brought it to Sri Ram so that Sri Ram can come and feed these Brahmins. And as she was there, Shraddha में दक्षिण प्रीतमः श्री राम आज्ञा स्वयं दीक्षित होकर सीता उस धर्म की सम्यक पालन किया। उस समय सूर्य आकाश मंडल के मध्य पहुंच गया, and the sun was just standing above the head. गए उसके कुतुब मुहूर्त की दिन की आठवां मुहूर्त, in the middle of the day आ गया था। श्री राम जिस ऋषियों के निमंत्रित किया था, he invited these saints to come and sit there, वे सभी वहां पर आ गए। आए हुए उस ऋषियों को देख कर वे देही राज की पुत्री जानकी राम की आज्ञा परोसने लिए वहां आई, किंतु ब्राह्मण के बीच जाकर वे तुरंत वहां दूर चले गए और लताओं के मध्य छिपा कर बैठे गए। सीता एकांत में छिप गई और बाट को जानकर श्री राम यह विचार किया कि ब्राह्मणों के बिना भोजन कराया साध्वी सीता लजाऊंग कारण कहीं चली गई होंगे। And then Bhagwan Sri Ram, he now have the food that he's feeding the Brahmanas, but when he's looking for Sita Devi, you know, I always say one thing, that whenever Shraddha is being done, a lot of times, you know, people have a tendency to say, oh, the son is doing the Shraddha, the son is doing this, the son is doing that. Let me tell you what. At that time, the son is more like a king. You know, if there is no daughter around, the son and we had definitely food. The son do the Shraddha, but the daughter does all the work. And then the son get big name that he do the Shraddha. The poor guy no know make him pinda, he no know cook, he no know he barely know how to be and come sit down there for do a Shraddha. Then the girl got tell him which cloth to wear, or how to dress. Then they got Tony Kurta right side because he always wear wrong side. The son is always getting big name that he is doing this, he is doing this, he is doing this job, he is doing this, and they get so much gaman sometimes. You know, they think them that they are some king, and sometimes they give such hard time to the family. I even have that conversation today, where one son from New York here, he is giving all kind of headaches to the mother in Guyana when the Shraddha has to be done, why the Shraddha has to be done at this time, why it don't have to be done at this time, and he has all kind of pakand. You know, the mother just tell him, say, look, if you want come do a Shraddha, you can come do a Shraddha. If you don't want to come do a Shraddha, the daddy's Shraddha will be done. We think you're the only person who can do it. You need to have respect for that. Your rules is not the bottom line. Go there, follow your rules, follow your tradition, and at that time you should not give your parents headache. That time you should join with them. Make them feel pleased while this Shraddha is going to be done. Now they have to worry about your behavior, they have to worry about that one behavior, and they have to worry about this stupid one and that stupid one, and then the whole family is divided. What kind of shraddha are we going to do? Garud Puran say one thing. Remember this one. If you don't remember nothing from this yard, we can't do 2 shraddha. Only one should be done. 2 shraddha is not good. Only one shraddha should be done. There's some son who said, well, me gonna do me own thing, you do your own thing. That is a downfall. That is a curse upon the family from day one. So that's why Bhagwan Ram is now prepared to feed all the Brahman. Sita Devi prepared all the food. We can't find Sita Devi. She's searching for her all over the place. He can't find her. Where did she go? Now he's torn apart. Here the sadhus are waiting, and here he has the food, but he can't find Sita Devi. You know that we always need something extra when we have to look for them. And now they're not there. What are we going to do? And now he brought the food. He fed the sadhus together with Lakshmanji. All the sadhus, they ate and everything, and they're gone. When they're gone, finally, Bhagwan Sri Ram, Sita Devi reappeared. She came back out. And when she came out, Bhagwan Ram says, where were you? I was looking for you. You did not come to help me feed the sadhus. Where were you? And like I said this morning, in our marriage vows, we take that vow that together husband and wife will perform the Shraddha karma of their ancestors. We are supposed to do that together. And so, Sri Ram Swayam, us Brahman ke bhojan karaya, Sri Ram had to feed the Brahmins by himself. Bhojan baad, usse shresth Brahman ke chalkar जाने पर श्री राम अपनी प्रियतमा सीता से कहा, and Bhagwan Sri Ram spoke to Sita Devi, and he says, ब्राह्मणों को देखकर मुझे लताओं का ओट में क्यों छिपा गई? Why did you go hiding? हे तनवंगी, तुम इसका समस्त कारण अविलंब मुझसे बताओ. श्री राम ऐसा कहा कर सीता मोह में नीच कर सामने खड़ी हो गई. And when Bhagwan Sri Ram spoke to Sita Devi, he did not yell at her, waving gun, why? He talked to her nicely. He said, why did you just disappear? I don't know. You know, and Sita Devi, at that time, she lowered her head and she spoke to Sri Ram, और अपने नेत्रों को आंसू बही हुई राम बोली. And tears start flowing from her eyes, and she spoke to Sri Ram. Sita ji kaha he nath, and he spoke to Sri Ram very nicely. Oh my Lord, मैंने यह जिस प्रकार का आश्रय देकर कि आप सुनो. I have a surprise. During this whole event, I want to explain to you. हे राघव, इस श्राद्ध में उपस्थित ब्राह्मण आग्र भाग में मैंने आपको आपके पिता के दर्शन किया. And when I look at the Brahman, I did not see the Brahman, but I see Raja Dashrath sitting there. जो सभी आभूषणों के सुशोभित थे. And he was dressed with all his kingly garbs and his crown and all. He looked complete as when he was sitting on the throne. उसी प्रकार के अन्य दो महापुरुष भी समय मुझे दिखाई, and I saw two other Mahapurusha. I saw two other great souls. आपके पिता के देखकर मैंने बिना बताए एकांत में चली आई थी। हे प्रभु, वलक उस मृग चरण के धारण किए हुए मैं किस राजा दशरथ के सम्मुख में सकती थी। He says, I am wearing deer skin on my body. I am dressed like a forest dweller. I am the daughter of a king, and I am the daughter-in-law of a king. And this king, of whose daughter-in-law I am, Raja Dashrath, is sitting there with all his full garbs as he is sitting in the kingdom. And me, as his daughter-in-law, when I would have come in front of him and he would have seen me in the garbs of a forest dweller, he would himself feel very embarrassed and shamed that it is because of him that I have to be in this state and I have to be in this forest. How would your father would have felt at that time to know that he's wearing all his kingly garbs, and me, my daughter, the daughter-in-law, who is supposed to be the very feather in the cap, who is supposed to be the person of tremendous respect for the family, is dressed in medical garb. It says, for this reason, I could not show my face to him, especially, and for that reason, I hid myself. शत्रु पक्ष के वीरों का विनाश करने वाला प्राणनाथ, मैं आपको यह सत्य ही कहा रही हूँ. I'm telling you the honest truth. This is what I experienced. Bhagwan Sri Ram only saw the Brahman there and he fed them nicely. Sita Devi saw something absolutely different. And here he is saying, Raja में वह भोजन कैसे दे सकती थी जिसके दासों में भी 10 कभी भी वैसे भोजन नहीं करते थे. तृण पात्र में उस अन्न को रख में कैसे उन्हें ले जाकर देती. मैं तो वही हूँ जो पहले सभी प्रकार के आभूषण सुशोभित रहती थी और राजा मुझे वैसे स्थिति में देख चुके थे. आज वही मैं कैसे राजा के सामने जा पाती. How is it that I can present myself in such a manner before him? It is in this thought that I could not come before them. So devotees, just for us to understand very simply tonight, that Shraddha means more than we understand at the surface. Shraddha comes from the word Shraddha. Shraddha means faith. The faith in the judgment is what will liberate the Atma. And the faith of the judgment must come from the Vyakta. Here, this is Sanatan Dharma. This is what I wanted you to understand tonight. This is the concept of Shraddha. Prem se boliye Siyapati Ramchandra ki. If you have any other questions that we'd like to answer, we can do them as we go along. So you are going to hear so much more in the next nights to come. Thank you. Oh, Chacha? 3-minute arti.
You cut it short.
So we're going to do simple arti. And the longer you wave that arti, farther we are away from food. And we'd like to thank Govind Chacha and Chachi for sponsoring tonight. And we're indeed blessed once again. And they made a donation to the Mandir of $501. And we are grateful for all your sponsorships and your donations, devotees. This is a moment of desperation. The Mandir does need your kind support at this time, and we are grateful for it all. And whatever you're doing, also you're doing on behalf of your ancestors. And so their Atma also will find comfort and bliss. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Bhagwan bless you. We will join us into our Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki hai aarti Papiyon ko paap se किरीटकुण्डलं सपीतवस्त्रं सरुचिरुभीक्षणं सारवक्षस्थलकौस्तुभश्रियं नमामि विष्णु शिरसा चतुर्भुजम् शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम् अनादिनिधनो देवा शङ्खचक्रगदाधरा अक्षय पुण्डरीकाक्ष पितृ मोक्षप्रदोर्भव प्रेत मोक्षप्रदोर्भव. O Bhagavan, we pray and ask that when the Atma gets an opportunity to see your divine form, that Atma would be liberated. Wherever and in whatever yoni or in whatever forms the souls of these ancestors are, we beg you, O Lord, that may you take your divine form and stand in their presence and liberate them. Remove them from any kind of sufferings or problems or difficulties that they are encountering. Physical problem, mental problem, spiritual problems, anything that is affecting them from being liberated, we beg you, O Bhagavan, during this course of listening to your divine glories and performing the necessary shraddha, we pray for their liberation. Om Dhyau Shanti Rantariksha Gum Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rapah Shanti Doshadhaya Shanti Vanaspati Shanti Vishwadeva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarva Gum Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Shama Shanti Redi Om Tat Sat Hari Om Tat Sat Hari Om Tat Sat Hari Om. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Prem se bole Radhe Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Prem se bole Sri Sita Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. Bole Har 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 Mahadev. Sache chote wale mata teri sada ki jai. बोलिए सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय, सब संतन की जय जय, सीताराम सब